Andrew are here, but mostly Disney is the name of the podcast here to play. Laugh along to what they say. So tune in, grab your mouse ears, let's all give a cheer for Disney. Times are here.
Hey guys, and welcome to But Mostly Disney. I'm Tater here in Virginia and coming to you live from Charleston, South Carolina. My friend on the other end, Andrew. How's it going, buddy?
Good. How's everybody doing tonight?
I always feel so podcasty when I say I like have a start, like a podcast start that's so fake, and then the rest of it's just me talking weird. And tonight, I'm excited. We're welcoming back our buddy Hawk for his second appearance on the show.
Yeah, very excited to be here and appreciate it. We did get to enjoy a nice dinner at Disney last week, so it was great to see you down in the neighborhood.
And Hawk knew everybody. Like all the wait staff came over and said hi, like how you doing, knew everything about him. It was pretty cool. We all hope to get to that level at Disney.
Well, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
It's true. It's very, very true. So, if it's your first time here, we're going to do something a little different. Part of the reason that I started doing social media and the podcast and all of this stuff was because, I'm an optimistic, upbeat, positive kind of, pardon the expression, but choose the good kind of guy. Copyright Lou Mangello. But, there are things I don't like the lobby of the Polynesian, and I mention that frequently. So we thought it'd be kind of fun tonight to maybe, not be negative, but maybe point out some things that drive us a little crazy, because it is fun. It's cathartic, right? It's good to get it out, put it out in the open, and let it, don't let it fester inside you.
So maybe I will turn my mug around then and go to the flip side for this evening's show. We're good now.
Yeah, Kyle says Jolly sent Lou join the conversation. He shared with me his photo of Lou Mangello that he's made into a saint. That I think would be pretty funny to post somewhere. But what do I know? I'm just a podcaster. So we thought we'd do it kind of top 10 style and roll through the things, and then you guys throw your entries in the comments there. And feel free to direct it off into another direction. Obviously, we love Disney and can be easily distracted without much problem. But I thought we'd jump right in and Hawk, since you are a guest, man, you get to go first.
All right, so I'll bring one up we dealt with the other night when we were at Disney. Not a huge problem. Something I understand, and you as a former
let me give you a disclaimer. None of these are probably huge problems, right? Like, we realize these are first world problems.
First world problems.
Exactly.
No, exactly. But here's one that is a former restaurant manager and working in the restaurant industry. You know this as well. It's extremely frustrating for consumers who have a reservation time to then get forced to wait. And, one of the things I think for the caliber of money you spend at Disney, I think they could improve upon getting people through dining experiences, however you want to explain it, but they need to do a better job with trying to keep people on their reservation times.
It's tough. And so we got there and we had to wait a little bit. We had no problem sitting at the bar. And honestly, the company was so good, and I genuinely mean that. Kyle was there as well. I didn't even notice the wait. It didn't bother me a bit. I will say, to kind of give a counterpoint, and I've done this for a long time, you've got two sides, right? The problem is, like, we went to Ohana one time, and we had a breakfast reservation, and then we were driving home. So this is the last thing we're doing. And it was 45 minutes before we got sat past our reservation. And the manager, it was so weird. He came out and he was so gruff, and he said point blank, "I can't make people get up." And he's right. It's, you
100%.
you can't make them leave, and you do these reservations on an average time of when folks are going to sit and when they're going to leave. The weird thing about that, not to well, I guess since we are airing our grievances, the weird thing was I was like, he was such a jerk the way he said it that I was literally writing a letter to Disney in my head. And then when our bill came, he took care of almost all of it. Like 5 of us breakfast at Ohana, our bill was like $20. And I'm like, why didn't you should have let me know that? Because I sat here this whole breakfast being mad, and he could have let me know. The other side of that is, I'm sorry, real quickly, the other side is everyone complains about Beacon Barrel that it's 45 minutes and get out, or Oga's Cantina has a time limit so that they can honor the reservations and keep people moving. So I feel like you're a little damned if you do, damned if you don't there,
And as a former restaurant worker myself, I agree 100%. But if you want to talk about the little annoyances at Disney, if you schedule your fast passes and, there's a certain time window. Now, tidbit here for people that don't know, bring your restaurant receipt. Right. Just show them that you were dining, and they will most certainly grant you and get you taken care of. However, Disney makes it so you have to plan so much down to minutia if you're making dining reservations and fast passes, your lightning lanes rather. And I'm old school, but the lightning lanes and the things that you need to do, it does make it not that we don't understand why it happens, but it does become a little frustrating because you're on a timeline. And if you're like me, and I'm a military guy, so if you're 10 minutes early, you're already late. So I'm like, I want to get going and I want to be there. And I guess it's something they could do better with.
And we were always taught, you don't buy the meal, you always buy an app or dessert, right? And honestly, that manager at Ohana's, if he'd have brought us a glass of juice, I'd have been fine. Like, he literally could have saved all that money and bring us 5 glasses of Pog juice, and I'd have been thrilled.
We had that similar issue at California Grill. We kept waiting downstairs, and a fine lady came up, and she's like, "What are y'all still doing here?" We're like, "I was going to come ask you." And we went up the elevator, we sat down, the manager came over and goes, "Mom and Dad, what would you like to drink?" And desserts on me for the little girl because we messed up your reservation. And I was like,
go.
Okay, we're starting off on a better foot here. But I agree. They have us playing so much in head. Plug for MEI and Mouth Fan Travel. They'll help you with all that.
Right.
But you want us to plan ahead and stick to it. But then when something happens, you're like, "Oh, sorry, we can't make people move." Well, that's a BS excuse.
Right. No. Kyle doesn't condone violence, but he says we could make him leave. The manager can't, but I could stare uncomfortably over the table.
Right.
It's Karen brought up a good point, though. It is like the doctor's office at Disney. They can be late, but you can't.
All right. So I have tested this, and I will tell you, don't, again, if it doesn't work, send your mail to Andrew at mostly.disney.com. They will hold your reservation all day. So if you miss a reservation at 2 p.m. and you come in at 7 p.m., they'll seat you. They are really good about the late part. And I guess they have to be because it might be the time you would have been sat anyway.
Some restaurants.
Yeah.
I will say there are some that will charge you that missed fee if you don't get there within an hour. They'll hit you.
Yeah.
And we've had it. Now, if you ever get charged, call Disney, call customer service, and have a conversation. And 99% of the time, they will reverse that charge if you have a valid reason. So, Disney customer service is still the best customer service of anywhere in the world.
Absolutely.
Companies train with Disney staff to learn their methodology of customer service. So, there is none better than that. But we're airing grievances. I live an hour away. If I drive over just to have dinner and then they make me wait an hour after I get there, I'm slightly annoyed.
No, it's a good one.
Yep.
All right, Andrew, give us yours.
So when I started taking my girls, I spoiled them right off the bat with deluxe resorts. We stayed at Animal Kingdom a lot because my loves animals, and my wife loves waking up and seeing the animals in the morning. All the perks that the deluxe resorts have gotten taken away since COVID just irk me. I'm paying that extra money. I should be treated a little bit differently than everybody else. I don't see that being a problem. And then the it used to be Magic Kingdom would close at 9, and you could stay till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning if you were a deluxe or you were staying on property at one point. Now, you get 30 minutes in the morning. Well, what's that going to do? You're not getting a bang for your buck for staying on property anymore.
Didn't
Oh,
you pay for the deluxe, Andrew, so you could sleep in anyway? They make us get up earlier. Like, I
right,
wanted to be closer to the park so I could sleep in a little more.
right. So that's just and then all the things APs get taken away, and we never got back, and the deluxe, there's a reason I pay that extra money. I want to be able to stay late and wake up later and have different benefits, and at least have some different lounges for APs. We got Hotel Marrakesh. Woohoo! All right.
And I think it's fair. I mean, I like a, well, I mean, I hate, it's not like a caste system, but like, and it's not really a meritocracy either. But I do think if someone's spending $900 a night, then they might get to have a different experience than me at $88 a night, when I with my 40% AP discount over at All Star,
Right.
So I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. And like Kyle says, you'll spend your first half hour walking to the first attraction anyway,
Yeah.
No, I agree. I like the perks. I think it's good business for Disney. I think it makes us spend more money, or want to spend more money at least. I'm sure the labor kills them staying open until midnight, I would piggyback on that.
They can afford it.
And what drives me crazy is the park closes at 11 and I get back to the hotel. We're leaving the next morning and I wanted to grab a souvenir or a drink, or something from the quick service or the gift shop, and it's closed. Like, why wouldn't you keep that open for a half an hour after the park's closed, or 45 minutes or something?
Oh.
We actually had our resort cups and I had to leave from the Polynesian and go to Floridian to get a Gatorade. I like a Gatorade at night, Powerade at Disney, but I had to ride the monorail over and then walk back to get something to drink, which I thought was crazy. All right, I'm going to hit one I know we all hate, and I brought, if I can get the right screen, I brought visual aids.
Visually.
Exhibit
A.
I absolutely did. I brought visual aids, and here you go, if you're ready for this. I don't know if the volume is going to work, so I don't hear any volume, but look at those folks right there, guys. Just right in the middle of the row. I mean, and they're not too bad, right? Like, they're off to the side, but they're just stopping. You're trying to walk. I'm filming, but that camera, I swear, I keep really close to me. But this is my favorite. I'm going to make sure we get the entire screen of this. I don't know how to make the sound, the movie work, so we'll just leave it like that. But look at that.
Oh, laid out. Oh, even better.
Look at that. I mean, they're almost dead center of the
path.
Protested.
That, and I didn't even, like, now that I can see it, because you talked about it the other night, that's insane.
Is that unbelievable? I mean, I'm just I walked out of here and I couldn't even believe it. And I'm trying, again, always trying to choose the good, right? Always trying to be nice. But I just, like, I think even my face is like, what? And I think in here, I'm saying,
that's not even a wide walkway there.
No.
Like if you were plopped down in front of the Millennium Falcon somewhere, okay, I can give you credit that, there's some space there. People could walk around you. But in the middle of one of the narrowest walkways in Galaxy's Edge, come on.
It is unbelievable how folks congregate. So my buddy owns a bar, and there's a section that leads back to the kitchen, and all of us in the restaurant business, we'd all stand right there. I have no idea why. There was tons of room other places. But I'm just looking at these folks, and I get it, man. The sun's going down. You're tired. You just want your $9 blue milk, and your kids are screaming. Your feet hurt. You've been here all week. It's not that I don't feel their pain, but I'm just looking at them going, why? Okay.
I thought this was a good idea.
I
How
couldn't even.
how long before you think a cast member walked over and asked them to move, though?
They all
And
stood in the corner
Because
going
that's
drawing straws.
literally a safety hazard.
it,
That's a
Yeah.
safety hazard.
it didn't happen while I was there. I can assure you of that.
Wow, that's crazy.
But that's crazy. And look, if you've got a stroller and your kid's shoe falls off, I get it.
Okay.
I understand that sometimes you do have to stop real quickly. But if you're stopping to check the map, or a show time, maybe and yet my kids will get on me because I there are occasions where I have a momentary lapse of judgment, right? And my kids are like, "Dad, you're that guy." I'm like, "Oh, off to the side, off to the side." But that,
We all do it. I
yeah,
mean, here's the thing. There's what, hundreds of thousands of people there every day. But I agree, there's nothing more annoying than when you hit your stride and you're comfortably walking in that massive heading wherever you're going, and then Johnny come lately does the hard stop with no explanation.
right.
And you're about to either mow him over, mow the kid over, trip over the stroller, go over the scooter,
I knocked a
whatever.
kid down one time. The dad was like, "You should have stopped in the middle of the walkway."
To the kid or to you?
Huh?
He yelled at you or the kid?
No, him. He yelled at his
okay.
kid. He's like, "You should have stood in the walkway." Like he started crying, like, "I am so sorry." It's like, "Hey, he shouldn't have stood there."
Yeah.
I was like,
And you nail it. Karen says that when she was a cast member, it would have happened pretty quickly, asking them to move because it's a safety thing.
That's what I figured.
And it's such a little thing, but it just, it happens 45 times a day. I would argue, it's kind of the same thing as like right goes this way and left goes this way. But I mean, we do get folks from all over the world. So some folks don't walk on the right side. And there's my son's, one of his really good friends is Indian, and he does, dancing. And so we'd go to these events and go watch him dance, and they have food, and it's very different personal space, right? It's not what we're used to. But the food's so good, I can put up with it. I don't care. But there's just little differences. But I like that was 2 years ago maybe, and I still remember it like it was yesterday. It was a little over a year ago, and I'm just like, holy cow! Just you could have measured it, and made sure you were dead center. Like I think you're off to the right.
Kyle says they walk like they drive.
Yeah, Kyle, you're spot on because I'm from Boston. I'm
right.
fasting all over the place. So yeah, I'm definitely agreeing with that comment.
But you know what? Maybe they're in a deluxe resort, and that's one of the perks they told them they got. Hey, sit anywhere you like. Place is yours. You guys are at the Four Seasons. Help yourself. Oh, yeah. And there you go. And look, to add to it, Andrew says when people stop abruptly in front of the wheelchair and expect him to stop on a dime.
Oh, he gets okay. He can run him over. It's okay.
What is that? Newton's fourth law or fifth law? Body in motion.
Well, it's funny that you say that though, because I do find myself when I walk with my wife in the parks, I will intentionally insert myself between strollers, scooters, or anything else and her, because I'll be like, look, watch your ankle, watch your ankle, watch your ankle, step left, like you literally have to be so aware of it because strollers, especially that quick U-turn, and they swing that stroller around, and you're talking ankle loss. I don't feel like dealing with the
we saw mobility scooters during the parade. The husband and wife were facing opposite of each other, and the wife pulled forward. They got locked hand rest to hand rest. Neither one of them could move. I looked at the cast member and I'm like, "You get to fix this problem now." She's like, "What's wrong?" I said, "They're locked together."
What's that is that like a senior citizen tractor pull?
Yes.
Like
The Chinese finger trap.
Look, I want to make fun of the Jazzies, but I worry that I'm heading in that direction. Like, will I be that guy when someday? Maybe but here's the thing, like driving, if you cut me off and then wave you're sorry, all is forgiven, right? Like I get it, we're not all perfect, and so it's okay. So if you stop and then oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Oh, no big deal. It's the level of awareness
although it's very hard to live, the phrase always assume positive intent is one that, it's just hard to put that into action in life. But
Mm-hmm.
I think more often than not, it generally does hold true. Most people aren't going to maliciously try to inconvenience somebody else, but it's definitely Kyle. We're gonna have the
It's gonna
Disney
be
scooter
us.
gang. We'll be the Disney scooter gang, all running around in our little.
Wild hogs on scooters.
That's it. Like, you know how they decorate the golf carts at Wilderness Lodge? That'll be
Oh
us
yeah.
on these souped up jazzies scooting around the park, making everybody furious.
with but mostly Disney and all your sponsors hanging
Right.
all
Yeah.
over.
Like a little
By
NASCAR
by
team.
then there'll be hover cars, right? We'll just be floating.
Upside down like in Back to the Future. I threw my back out again.
Right, exactly. All right, Hawk, give us another one.
All right, so this is one that it's kind of a weird one, and it's not one I would choose personally, but it's one I frequently see that I think does need to be addressed at some level. And believe it or not, that's the vloggers, YouTubers, and people walking around the parks. Um, there are some incredibly gracious social media people that are
Yes.
in the parks that are very understanding and respectful to others. And there are others that are not so respectful. And it gives the vlogging and social media community a bad rap. And that's unfortunate because I do think that's too bad. But a lot of people are there on vacation for the first time. They don't want to hear people talking about loud enough that everyone around them is hearing what they're saying or seeing what they're doing or trying to steal the spotlight or the moment or jump in to get that picture and interrupt or a character interaction or anything else. I think the people that allow things to happen organically in the parks are far more appreciated than the people that are trying to manipulate that moment or that that's one of the magic parts of Disney to me. Don't manipulate it, let it happen.
Right.
The organic magic that happens should be allowed to happen. And I just think that that's something that we all could take. We're none of us are big time folks running around with our name out there, but we're all trying to be respectful enough of other people that are there because we truly love Disney. It's not a cash cow. It's not the reason we're trying to do something. And I think once people cross that bridge, sometimes some people go a little too far. And I wish that didn't happen in parks, especially as a parent of what was then a small child. And I saw some incidents that I was like, that took away a little magic for my daughter instead of creating it.
Well, and as someone who does film, like I try to do it. Well, first of all, the way I do it, I'm usually with my family anyway, so I'm doing it in bursts. They're around me, and so I'm doing it and then cutting out. Like if no one ever knew that I was filming, like that would be my goal, right? And someone said it early on to me, like this is might be someone's only day, right? Yeah. So that's the thing is like I can come back later. I'm the only thing I ever set up shots for is the monorail. But I'm standing by myself by a railing, like I'm not in anybody's way. I'm not anybody's, And if you watch my videos, you'll hear me often say, "No, you go ahead. This video is so unimportant," because people will apologize, like I'm going to get mad because they stepped in front of me filming Country Bear Jamboree for the 80th time, or I hate it, and it's not even vloggers; it's really everyone. But like you're on Pirates, and they've got their screen on full brightness,
with their phones, yeah,
or their flashlight, like they'll have the flashlight on the cell phone, and I'm like, oh, this is very, this is very exciting.
Yeah, and then they're the ones who are doing the line right before it comes. Like, I don't mind if you do it in unison, that's cool, but don't spoil it for let it be. You're right. Let it just be magic and serendipity.
Something else with the vloggers. When they get to be recognized, and there's a few of them out there that I've heard have done this, and one of them did it to me. When somebody walks up to you and says, "Hey, how you doing?" How about say hello back to them? Be nice to them. Don't be like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" Like you're bothering them. You're putting yourself out there on the internet. People are going to come up to you and say, "Hey, can I get a picture with you?" or whatever. Blah, blah. Don't be a jerk to them.
It's got to be weird. Like I don't. obviously no one, I've been recognized one time, right? Like one time someone came up to me and said, "Hey, aren't you?" And I talked to him for 45 minutes, but I mean, I
And then we
guess,
went to dinner.
right. That's right. No, but and it's, yeah, I don't know. It's hard. Like if you're trying to work and you have limited time, like I can't imagine being like George Clooney famous. Like I can't imagine. And you know that if someone gets a selfie with you, it's something they're going to talk about till they die, right? Not me,
Oh, yeah.
George Clooney. But I mean, so you want to risk that moment and say hi. But then when you're let down by it, it does kind of feel like, you know. And I've talked to people who are much, much bigger than I have who've said, you know, some of them are great and some of them would elbow you in the mouth to get 1 inch closer for their video. You know?
Well, we talked about it at dinner that night. Like I know a couple of the guys, I know you do, and you know, I'm very lucky that the people we know are very gracious, very
Yes.
friendly, you know, very respectful of others, appreciate the viewers and the recognition and the time. And you know, to your point, Andrew, there is a, you know, a fandom of Disney folks that follow vloggers, YouTubers, and influencer. And I mean, there's that fandom in any area of
Right.
vlogging,
Oh, yeah.
or you know, they've got their fans. But in Disney, you know, you're gonna be out and accessible. You're gonna
Yes.
be in the parks. And I think,
Yeah.
you know, you do have to remember that, you know, just like professional athletes, at the end of the day, they're paying you.
Exactly.
You know, like say hello, appreciate
Yeah.
them. You get too big for your britches, and you're going to find yourself not making the money you were making.
Well,
Mhm.
and Kyle,
Absolutely.
and so Kyle, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle, but he mostly does live streaming, and so you could almost do that with no one even knowing you're filming. You know, like you could really do that and just be like, you could put it close up to you, and you'd never even know that that it's going on. No, you know, I want to be respectful when I do it. I really enjoy sharing this stuff, and I know that I like watching other YouTube videos of stuff at the parks. I mean, it's, you know, when you can't go all the time, it's a great way to have something on in the background or just watch someone you enjoy their personality and or something new at the parks or whatever. But it is secondary, right? And I know these folks are making money doing it. I'm not, but some people are, right? And
I know
it's
when I
big
record,
You're on your way. You're on your
Yeah.
journey.
Well, but I mean, for me, like, if someone walked up to me in the parks and I was filming, I'd just put them in the video. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, unless they were absolutely insane. But what greater thrill? Like, I think on the Disney Wish, we did a group cruise and Lou brought me onto his stream and I felt like I was famous. You know, it was just such a cool
Right.
treat to get to watch myself, you know, doing something that with someone I think is really neat, you know. And again, my goal, I mean, yes, I do want to monetize this at some point in time, but my goal is community, right? My goal is this chat room. My goal is someone actually, we did this thing last night and someone asked if I had a big win of the week. And I'm like, yeah, I had 2 people that I don't know reach out and say, hey, are you in the parks on this date? I'd love to get a photo with you. Like, that's
awesome.
really cool, right? Like, I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. I just think it's neat. Like that anybody wants a photo with my giant head. But I mean, you know, that's success, right? That when people want to hang out with you, which
You're
is
tall enough, it actually towers over you a little bit.
Yeah.
So even though you have a bigger head,
I'm
it
worried
would
it'll
be okay
block
in the
out the
photo.
sun.
You
That's
just
right.
need to make sure, just tell all your followers you need to make sure you're shooting the long way and
That's
not
right.
horizontal.
Please, I need to wear black hats. So that. All right, Andrew, what do you got?
Well, it's not so bad anymore now that we have mobile ordering, but you'd be standing in line to get your food or take it, and people have no idea what they want. They're just standing there and they take forever to order lunch or dinner or breakfast or even a Starbucks coffee. It's like, what is going You've been here in line for 15, 20 minutes like everybody else. It's nachos at Pecos Bill or a po' boy at the Harbor House. Take your pick. Let's go. And then they're like, well, you know, hold on, anybody else want anything in the back?
Right.
Like, really? Come on, let's go.
It's so bad. And you've been standing in line for 10 minutes. You've seen the menu. You know what's going on. And, you could know that you're going to get the lobster roll and what drink you want
Right.
way ahead of time.
Way ahead.
It is funny. People do
tells
take
me I'm becoming a grumpy old man, and I'm like, well, I can't help this.
But here's my theory, dude. As I get older, I don't think they're grumpy. I think they're right. Like
100%.
there might be a difference. Like I'm always like, get off of my lawn, stop. Old man yells at cloud. But I'm starting to think, maybe I understand what they're saying. Like all this time I've been making fun of them.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle calls it a Sean solar eclipse, which is not wrong. It's true. Keep you shady in the summer. That's what I do.
Mobile order is money. Kyle is wrong there.
Yeah, thank God for mobile order now.
But yes, I agree. But I love people. Like I never check in online, right? We never
did either.
I like high-fiving. I don't know if I should say this or not. I'll just say it this way. The girl at Animal Kingdom who checked us in saved us like $140.
I was just going to say, you can't get pixie dusted.
Right.
No,
if
mobile check-in.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to put you where they put you. They're going to, when you go to the desk, you can ask for room location. You can get more specific. Yep. You can ask them, like, hey, what would you recommend? Where should I try to be at this hotel if you've never stayed there? And they're so helpful. They'll give you so much additional information. And if you make that random connection, maybe it's someone from your home state, maybe it's someone from, that went to the same college you did, whatever it be, you never know. And we had so many times where when my daughter was little, there would be we would wind up with cupcakes or balloons in the room for a birthday trip, or just something little that we found out when we checked in that had I just pressed the button, we would have never had happen.
We went down, and they tell you to put, like, what do you celebrate and everything. And we went down in November, or Thanksgiving, which is right around our anniversary. We had our kids with us, and it had to be a manager that was checking us in. She goes, "Oh, you're down here for your anniversary. Great. Congratulations, blah, blah, blah." She looks at my kids and goes, "Don't you think mom and dad deserve their own bedroom? We're going to upgrade y'all to a suite." Right. I was like, "You don't have to do that." She's like, "Nope, little pixie dust."
And I think Chris
said it.
Chris said earlier,
that's a lot of pixie dust.
That's a lot of pixie dust on a vacation with the family.
Because we're going to get mom and dad their own room. I'm like,
but you can't expect any of it, right? Like you can't expect a cast member to even make the little mulch leaf Mickeys with the broom. You can't expect any of it. Like it's all got to just poof.
Organically happen. But it doesn't happen if you just check in mobily.
Right.
Like there's a difference between, I'm not saying you go asking for anything, but to your point, being a people person, Sean, when you have the opportunity to be nice to somebody and you don't know, like, here's the flip I tell people all the time. And when we went out to dinner, you saw the little cards we give out. We give out appreciation cards to cast members.
Yeah, so if you don't know, Hawk does that, and he can explain it better. But he has little cards that he stopped, almost annoyingly so, because I'd be mid-sentence. We had a lot of talkers with us that night. And you turn around, and he's gone, and he's leapt over to a cast member to hand a little card. And tell the story how you started that real quick, because that's pretty cool.
So what happened, my daughter was pretty young and we were at Magic Kingdom, one of the first trips we took down, and we were in line for Small World, which thank God we don't have to wait in line for that anymore. But we were in line for Small World, and it was one of those days that if you've been to Disney frequently, there's times where all the rides are down. It just seems like nothing's working and people get super frustrated. Mm-hmm. And, it's I spent $10,000 on my vacation, and it was one of those moments where a father was frustrated, no rides were working. He literally lit up one of the cast members that worked an attraction, and he's just literally screaming. at this poor CP, college program kid that is working Small World. And my daughter and I were behind him, and we could see the tears welling up in his eyes. And, the cast members can't say anything to anybody. And when you talk about having respect for people, the one thing I would plead with everybody at Disney, if you're going to get frustrated with somebody, take it to the right place. Go to a manager. Don't
Mm-hmm.
don't lose it on some 18 to 22-year-old kid that can't say anything to you out of fear of losing their job. And so he was getting lit up pretty heavy, and I spoke up. I said, "Listen, do you think this kid can help you? Because he can't. But I would suggest you have valid points. Take it to a manager." And the kid was just super appreciative. And when we were done, gave us a big hug, talked to us about Boston, talked about and my daughter, when we had this conversation and it wrapped up, and he was just so kind to us, gave us a couple of fast passes. And my daughter was like, I would like to do something for cast members to counter the people that behave like that man did. And if you've ever talked to a cast member at length, they get slapped, spit on. They have days where it's hard to be a cast member and keep a smile on your face at Disney. While some people will tell you it's the greatest job they've ever had, people will also tell you it's one of the hardest.
Yeah,
and
I bet.
it's a little bit of both, right? So we designed little thank you cards that we started printing in 2017, and since then we've given out over 60,000 cards to
Wow.
cast members.
60,000.
Yeah,
That's
just to say
65 zeros. 40.
And people, cast members often have our cards. They
That's so
save
cool.
them. And we often meet cast members that will say, "Hold on, don't go anywhere. I want to show you this." And they'll open their wallet and they'll have 5, 6, 7 of the different versions of thank you cards. And we change it every time. So a cast member finally asked us to start numbering them so they could trade them with
Oh,
other
that's-
cast.
That's
How neat
pretty
is
cool.
that?
So we're on the 45th rendition of those cards. And
Wow.
we have people, we write a poem on the back that is just a corny little poem to just say, "You're awesome. Thank you for putting up with us and making our trip a little better." And you'd be amazed how many times someone had just told us, just we caught them on the right day at the right moment where they really needed that. And it's a little thing that makes a difference. And it's just something we love to do. And when we were at dinner, the reason I knew Matt and Brian and the staff at Beaches
Name
and Creek so
dropper.
well is as we've given them cards over the years
It's so cool.
and got their story. And I think one of the things people miss at Disney, and Sean, you touched on this by talking to the cast members,
Mm-hmm.
learning their story is their opportunity to shine for you in a moment and share something about them. It's not just the person at Small World, it's Jason from Arkansas who
Right.
has a story.
Or and at Epcot when they're from another country. Like
Country.
those people will talk to you about where they're from if they have time. And you don't want to go up like during Food and Wine when there's a 9-mile long at the Japan booth to find out, what kind of shoes you wear over there. But I mean, but if you're in Mitsukoshi, or I was in Norway and talking to the guy and a girl in there, just hearing about their experiences here, like what they thought of America and how long they got to be here. I mean, it's really cool. Karen says she gives out appreciation cards too. And then Tony kind of buries you because they brought Alaskan chocolate and handed those out, which would be nice.
So I bought one of Jeremy Stein's "Be Nice to Cast Member" shirts, and every
Yeah.
time I go, I wear it. And we were standing in line on a people mover, and we got to the top. The girl was pointing, and she goes, "Can I give you a hug?" I was like, "Sure." She's like, "That's the greatest shirt ever." I was
Yep.
like, "Well, people need to be nice to y'all."
I got so many comments on that, and I got to go around on the people mover again. They're like, "You want to go
Yeah.
again?" Like, yes, I do. Thank you. I didn't really.
And you're right
but
about
just wanted
No,
to
go
be.
ahead.
They were being
No.
so nice. I just didn't. I couldn't say no. Right.
Yeah. And the Epcot thing is true because I went to Germany and my middle name is German. It's Rudolph. But I gave him my license. This is a long time ago. I handed him my license, and the guy goes, he looks at my middle name. He goes, "Are you German?" I said, "Well, my family is." And he asked what part, and I told him. And he kind of stepped aside, and him and I had a conversation for like 10, 15 minutes about that part of the country in Germany because that's where he was from. And you could just tell it, like, he was like, "What would you like? I like a beer. Can I see your license?" And like, it was like just another day for him. And once he got a connection, he just lit up for that 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, well, he made my day, but I think I made his day just by talking to him about it.
You did, and that. So look, I talk all the time. If you listen to this podcast, poor Andrew, sometimes I just feel like, man, I really need to shut up every now and again. But that's why I do this, right? And my wife will tell you, like I've never met a stranger. I'll talk to anybody. I like to say that I scare people into being my friends because I just get so friendly and chatty. But the thing that I've noticed is even if you're not like Tony, giving out chocolate, which is fantastic, or you're not wearing anything, I feel like a lot of them, like the People Mover or Spaceship Earth in particular, I don't know why those pop in my head, but they're, watch your step, please watch your step. They get in this zone. And look, I get it. Everyone is really focused on their family. Like there are times that I've been with my kids that there was no one else in that park, right? It was just the five of us. Like, was it crowded? I don't remember, because I was so lasered in. Mm-hmm. But when you go to them and they're like, please watch your step, and you go, hey man, thanks for the ride. Have a great day. They're like, oh yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Like just the fact that they get, anyone even notices they're there is nice.
You're 100% spot on. And we used to tell people, for all the magic that the cast makes for us,
mm-hmm.
we make magic for the cast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Karen brings that up all the time. Like,
100%.
And what would everyone's dream? I mean, if I could go back and do Year of a Million Dreams and be part of that squad, I know Lou says it too. I think when I posted about what your dream job would be, I mean, that would have been so cool just to walk around all day and give out pins and stickers and, a night in Cinderella's castle, that kind of thing. But Kyle says, yeah, they snap out of zombie mode. It's so true. Yeah. My sister, they bought lightning lanes, and I had every intention last week of filming. I was going to buy lightning lanes and film if that works. So I guess I'll do that next time. I didn't film at all because I got so into hanging out with her kids. I just stopped. I was like, I'm not going to make a video of this. I'm just going to have fun with the kids. And it was great. And look, I filmed some I did stuff, right? So I can still write it off if the IRS is listening. But no, it was so cool being, really in the moment. You talk about like getting the shot so important. It wasn't important at all. But I left them and they went to Animal Kingdom on their own and they'd bought, hey, I'm sorry. And so the guy, Chris, on Pirates, I have not gotten anyone to wave to me in like the last 5 times. So when you're getting on Pirates and that little window,
yeah,
we start waving like real light, like we'll just give them a little wave, and when they don't, we start going nuts.
So I did that the last 2 times, and I like to the point, like, did they just put a video screen up there? Is that a real person? Like, I'm not sure. Is that really Johnny Depp? No, but the Expedition Everest went down, and so she was like, she called me. It's like, I'm going to go get my money back, and she's got a little of this in her, and I'm like, Megan, this is the one place where nice is what gets you, if they're going to do anything. Yes, I did film my niece. She's like, you're a YouTuber? I'm like, well, that might be a stretch. She's like, I want to be on YouTube. And her mom's very protective of pictures of her. So I was like, is it okay? And she's like, yep, it's fine. So I have some water fountain reviews coming out with my niece as a small child doing them. And she's much better.
Talk about being nice. We were at Hollywood Studios one night. We had a couple with us that comes down with us every now and then. He's a Star Wars geek like me. He had never been to Galaxy's Edge yet. So I bought a lightning lane for me and him to go do Rise of Resistance. Well, it goes down. Well, it goes down for the night. Well, they're like, we'll give you another fast pass or something. I was like, wait. I spent decent money for these 2 fast passes, and you want me to go ride swirling saucers. No, this ain't happening. So I walk up front to the guest services. My family and all, they want to go do something else. I said, I'll be back in 20 minutes. Luckily, I got there early because the line after me was like 50 deep, and they're grumbling and moaning and groaning about rise resistance being down. So I get inside, and the girl's like, yes, sir, how can I help you? And I was like, hey, how are you doing tonight? She's like, huh? I said, how are you? She's like, I've got 2 more hours. I'm like, I would love to have 2 hours in the park, but, you're working, I'm not.
Right.
So we carried on a conversation. I said, well, here's what I need. The gentleman that's with me is not coming back. I'll be back again later in the week. Anyway, you can give my money back for his and just book mine later in the week. And she's like, that's all you want? I was like, yeah, that's all I need. She's like, thank you so much. She goes, I can see the lady behind you, and she's burning laser eyes through me right now. And she's going, I know her conversation is going to be nothing like your conversation. I'm like, I'm just trying to make things easy here. This is all I need. And she was like, sure. And then she's like, can you stay here for a few minutes? And I was like, yeah, sure. What you want to talk about? And kind of find out she's from South Carolina. I'm from South Carolina. She went to Clemson. I went to Carolina. So we had a little battle back and forth about football teams for a few minutes. And then another cast member got the lady with the laser eyes. But it was just how I started the conversation where I was like, hey, how's your day going? And she was like, huh, what? Like, it threw her off guard. She just was ready for me to start blasting her that the ride was down. I'm like, I'm not going to do that to you.
They get a little invisible. All right, I got one that it really is not a big deal, but it does drive me crazy. Even though I know what's going on, I have done it myself. I totally get it. But people cutting in line to get back to their family because they went to the bathroom or to get something to drink, or took a kid to the bathroom. I know what they're doing. I know it doesn't matter. It's okay. So I'm on the next boat on Pirates, but when they're weaving their way through the thing, and sometimes they do say excuse me, and sometimes they don't. But every time I can't help, there's something in them that goes, yeah, where's your family? Who's up there? Where are you going? Who are they with? What are they wearing? How long have you been gone? Why didn't you bring me coffee?
It doesn't. What's funny with you saying that, and I'm laughing so hard because 9 times out of 10 it doesn't bother me. But that time that we were going to get in the front row of the boat, and then 3 people jump in, and you're like, now you're 4 rows back, or like just it throws up. You're all in line, and you're like so excited for something because you can see how it's going to play out, and then because someone rushes in to join their family right at the last second, it throws everything into the wrench. It just throws the wrench in everything.
Tony says it drives her nuts, her dad nuts too, and Andrew's right. The bigger parties, I don't think I've ever seen a huge party doing it. I've seen like a dad and 2 kids. I've seen someone coming back with a coffee, or and no one's truly cutting, right? It's not like, oh, you think so? Maybe I'm naive.
We would have people that have saved.
Yeah, I think they are cutting.
And then they call their family and be like, okay, we're almost there. And the family comes rushing in. Jen and I had it happen at another park on the dark side of Orlando. And about 18 people jumped in line in front of us. And it was to the point where it was almost a little bit of a problem, not from us, but there were a couple groups behind us that were on the verge of going, like they had to come over and settle it down.
Well, that's why I don't go there. I did see some kids get knocked out of line at Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, and we were waiting for the front cart, and some lady behind them went bananas, and 2 of the kids had to leave.
The funniest.
Go
ahead, Andrew.
We all froze. Too polite. Everyone's too polite.
Something happened. I was standing in line with my family for like an hour to ride Soarin'. It was the last ride we were doing before we were going home, and I had to go to the bathroom. I'm like, I'll be back. I went to the bathroom, and then I stood there for a minute, and like, I'm not cutting back in that line. I'm just going to stay out here and just wait for them to get back. And they rode the ride. My wife goes, why didn't you come back? I was like, I'm not going to be that guy that I complain about all the time that leaves and comes back. I am not going to do that. And she's like, well, we had 4 other people do it. I said, well, they can do it. I'm not going to be the guy that does that.
The funniest
Andrew Prince said he had folks jump in the exit line, hop the rope, and for 7 dwarves. Wow.
So
do you know
we rope dropped Flight of Passage, and this was the funniest one I've ever seen. So they used to walk you down, and it's been a number of years since I dropped Flight of Passage, but they would walk you from the bridge. They would hold you at that bridge by Tiffin's, and then they used to walk you all the way in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
So we were doing that one morning, and my daughter and I were in the first 50 people. Like, we're up there. And we're following the cast members. People are running, trying to get around, and the cast members made that solid line all the way across the walkway so nobody could cut. And there was this older woman. She was probably 65, maybe even 70. And as we started down the little path, there's a stairway that's roped off for cast members, but it's from like the upper part when you look out over the floating islands there when you first come into Pandora, and then there's like the lower level. You wind up walking down the ramp, but at the edge of that, there's actually a little stairway, and 2 teenagers jumped over that and were cutting down the railway and jumped in front of this grandmother and just cut her. And grandma didn't play. She grabbed that kid by the hood. He was in a hoodie, and he's like, "Get your hands off me, grandma." And she slapped him and pulled him right down to the ground. I mean, like, took him down. And I was like, and she's like, "Nobody's cutting me at Disney World."
Wow.
And a cast member was right in front of us, took the 2 teenagers, took them off, walked Granny right to the front of the line, and she was the first one to ride that day.
Nice.
I thought it was the best thing I've ever seen. It was awesome.
That's unbelievable. God, I wish I'd seen that.
Crazy.
I would be so bad at that. Like, you would. I mean, I just don't have that Ocean's 11 criminal mind. I'd be the sweating, nervous guy. You would know that I cut. I'd probably tell you that I cut. I'd get to the front and go, "Know what? I don't deserve to ride. I'm heading out. See you guys later." Plus, I'd be afraid of getting banned forever. Like, I'd be afraid that.
Yeah.
You know, as annual pass holders, I think you take a very different outlook than someone that's just going for that one-shot deal. And I mean that wholeheartedly, because I see people that you can tell their attitude is, "I'm only coming here once and I don't care."
Yeah, I mean, Kyle's got it right. Respect your elders. Grandma said knock you out.
Don't mess with grandma. That was an early lesson learned. But you know, it's such a unique mindset.
It is.
That I agree with you. If you're you know, just a good person, you don't think that way.
No.
And the people that try to manipulate the situation or play the game or you know, get over on somebody, it's tough sometimes. And that's some of the things we're talking about that we miss, the grievances we have, because people continually took advantage of them.
And because we care, right? I mean, we care about. I mean, my sister, who I think she went one time, like they had a swim meet down there or something. So she had been, but she didn't, not in any meaningful way. And I watched her pick up trash on her own. Like, I didn't say, like, "Hey, people pick up trash here." Like, it's so weird that you just start, because it's so magical, right? Her kids were having such a good time, and her dad's a Master Chief, and he's breaking down and, you know, almost in tears watching just how incredible this place is. And I watched her reach down and pick up trash on her own. Just made my little Disney heart grow 3 sizes that day. All right, let's do one more round. Hawk, give us your next one.
Oh. So this is tough.
Kyle says, "Don't let grandma clip my ankle. The street goes 2 ways."
Do you know what a grievance I have? That it's not even Disney. It's something we lost from Disney that I greatly miss, and it was a third-party thing, but I wish they still had Tables in Wonderland.
I never got to experience it.
Oh, it was
awesome.
so nice. Valet parking at the hotel, free with the reservation. It was just talk about you know, Andrew, the VIP feeling of the deluxe.
Absolutely.
Tables in Wonderland was that.
Did it.
Wow.
VIP
You flashed that card, you were.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was,
Diners
and
Club
it was
card.
worth the money. I think it was $150 to
Yeah,
get. Maybe it started at like 50 the first couple years, but I think the last year they had
it was like
it was
150 to
up to
200 if I
100.
remember correctly.
I
Yeah,
think it was like 150, and you could get 2 cards or whatever. I don't even remember how it was, but man, Tables in Wonderland was just a great program. Hey, Sean, I hate to do this to you, but I got to jump over to Mousecast.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm trying to get you out of here. Well, hey man, tell everybody where to find you.
Yeah, at Mousecast 2025 on Facebook or at Mousecast on YouTube. And we're going to be going live in about 30 seconds.
Yep. And so we'll shut this down and we'll head over there.
No worries. You guys keep going. You're on a good roll right now. Keep it going.
Thanks,
We'll
buddy.
see you soon, though.
all
All right,
right,
man.
see you.
Talk to you
See you,
later.
Hawk.
Bye.
Bye.
Good.
Okay. It's back to us two.
Finally got rid of that guy. No, he's fantastic. I enjoy talking
Yeah, he's
to him.
awesome. He's awesome guy.
Really, it's just amazing how how this community ends up drawing people in. It's like-minded folks, which is really, really fun. I'm playing with you. All right, Andrew, then let's each give one more and then we'll head over there and watch his show.
We all know Disney is expensive. I'm getting tired of people. Do you know how much a soda costs? Do you know how much a sweatshirt costs? Yeah, we know it's expensive. Everything is expensive. It doesn't matter. If you're going to want to go, you're going to figure out a way to go, and you're going to figure out a way to save your money to go. I don't need to hear how expensive Disney is. Everything. You go on a cruise, go on a camping trip. You're going to spend the same amount of money to do the same, not the same thing, but to go on vacation. You're going to spend money to do it. So that's what gets me is people who complain about the cost of it. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think I feel like, and I could be wrong. I mean, look, if you did an Excel sheet, I'm sure you could prove me wrong. But the world's kind of caught up to Disney. You know,
Yes.
I mean, I won't eat fast food anymore, not just because it's bad for me, but it's expensive and bad for me. Like if I go to Wendy's and get a burger and fries and a Coke, it's like $15.
I
After
went to
everything.
Firehouse the other day. It was $17. She goes, "Would you like to round up?" I was like, "No, I still got to pay $17. And you want me to round up? No, I'm not doing that." But yeah, I get tired of hearing people complain about how. You're going to Disney? You know how expensive that is? Well, how much it is to buy groceries nowadays? It's no different.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. Karen asked what Tables in Wonderland was, and I think it was a discount program.
It was a discount program.
Okay. For residents or locals or something.
Or APs. You get I think you get as AP back in the day.
It was like 20% off your food or something like that. And did you buy it? You paid
you bought it. Yeah, you could buy it.
Okay.
But that was a long time ago. I don't even remember the whole program now.
I remember seeing it like when I first started and going, "Oh man." But it is tough. And then and that is one of my grievances, but I won't belabor it too long. But Karen brings up fast passes, and it's so true, right? Because not only are they expensive to buy, and for me, it's 5 people, right? So it's a lot of money. I mean, there's a lot of experiences I can't do at Disney because of 5 people. Like I've always wanted to do some of the backstage tours and stuff, and it's a lot. It's why my kids never got to go skiing, because I skied when I was a kid and we would take red-eye bus trips for 8 hours, all of us from church camp, and go do it. But, once you tack on rentals for 5 people and lessons for 3 people and a place to stay and all the food,
10 grand.
like, oh my gosh. And we found a lot of good ways to do it. Yeah. I mean, Chris is right. Bring up a movie with snacks is crazy expensive. Now we do like a, where you can dine. So for $100, we get dinner and a movie at least, and not just a soda. Yeah, it's great, and big chairs and I don't know if I could go back to paper fast pass, Tony, but I do kind of miss the excitement of running in the summer in Florida over to Toy Story Mania to get it. I would like to see if I could do something for a day at Disney. I'd like to go in and see like a board member level of why charging for fast pass works and how moving the people around, if it really makes sense. Is it just for making money? And I guess that'll be my last grievance. My last grievance is not, as a shareholder, I want Disney to make money, and it's got to make money for it to be there for us. But I do wish they would do the stuff that is just the little extra stuff, the little magical stuff that probably doesn't cost a whole lot. Yeah, sorry, Andrew Prince brings up a professional ball game. Like, how much does it cost to go to a football game or a baseball game? I mean, it's crazy. But I miss the little things like I miss my shopping bag saying Walt Disney World instead of Disney Parks. And I know that printing makes sense. Like, I get it. I really do understand it. But I loved that. I love that they still give out stickers. Like, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. You know, you're walking along and you're doing something, and they just pop out a quick, sticker for somebody. You know, I don't know how much those rolls of stickers cost, but they're priceless. And yeah, I mean, you're right, Kyle. Of course it's for money to put people in a separate line. I totally get it. But I guess in my meeting that day, I'd want to see too, because I assume that the price of a ticket does not cover the cost of running the parks, right? I mean, that's when we do a band at the Norva, people would come in and we charge for water, and I didn't like doing it, but we did. So the Norva is a music venue where I work or used to work, still kind of work. It doesn't matter. But we charge $4 for a bottle of water, and people will get mad. And I'm like, we got to pay for the band, dude. That's why a beer's $15. Your ticket price doesn't cover it. Mm-mm. If it did, I mean, I can't imagine how much. If Disney covered their operation costs on tickets alone, I mean, it would never work. But I do miss the little things. I don't love some of the architecture they're doing now. I don't feel like it's super Imagineered. If you go to Wilderness Lodge and Lakeshore Lodge, they don't do just married buttons anymore.
I saw that too. What?
That's nuts. I'm going to make a phone call about that.
Yeah, that's stupid. If that's the case,
that's hard to believe.
Right.
Wow. That really shocked me. All right. Well, we've been at it for over an hour. That was fun. I'm glad it wasn't too negative, and I hope you don't. A lot of these were kind of silly, and they're just little things that I walk around the parks, and I know if you posted it online, people would yell at you and go, "Just love it. It's magic." And like, that doesn't mean I still can't kvetch about it a little bit. It's fun to complain every now and again. And
Absolutely.
this is a nice, safe space, right? Oh, so Karen says they just do celebrating.
Boring.
It is. I think the just married needs to have a little more. Andrew, how's the YouTube channel going?
Good. Editing a little bit of a Go With Me Here video. So just a bunch of stuff that I thought was interesting last trip we went in February. So I'm just about done with that. And then getting ready to do an update on the truck. I did some stuff to it. So that'll be coming out soon. Probably one Friday, one Saturday. So
I haven't done anything. I don't even know the last time I posted a video. I've got an Animal King review coming up I got to do. I didn't film anything when I was down this week, but I've got some stuff I need to get out. So keep an eye on the YouTube channel and join us in the but mostly Disney Facebook group.
There.
Andrew and I have been posting some questions there and all over the internet as it'll allow us. And if you're not subscribed to the newsletter, I am going to sometime in the next few days, and Andrew, I'll get with you about it. We'll find a day to do another Zoom call.
Yeah, that's cool.
And all you have to do to be eligible is subscribe to the newsletter, because I'm going to send the link out in the newsletter. But I thought that was fun last time, and we'll try to do it. Obviously, we all do it around Tony's time zone.
Yes.
So we'll try to do a Zoom chat again because I thought that was fun, and I'm gonna try to do one of those once a month because I think it's a good time. That way, if I miss a podcast, I don't feel as bad. So, and I've got another thing I'm going to do called But Mostly Failing, where I'm going to talk a little bit about what I do, as far as the social media stuff and the YouTube and this podcast, and talk about some software and cameras and all this other stuff that I like that just seems weird to talk about on this channel. So I'm not really going to advertise that. It'll just pop up, but I am going to go live and do it. So keep an eye out for that. And, no, it's your fault. Tony says, don't turn it around my call, but it is. It's all about you, Tony. No, it's easy I like having you there. So, we want to make sure you're available. So,
Absolutely.
all right. I don't think it's next week. Next week's Kyle. Kyle Bolamir's coming on next week.
Oh, sweet.
And then I found this guy. He's fascinating. He was in People magazine, apparently, and I talked to him today. They live half the year in an RV at Disney.
I think I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're going on a cruise, and I think the second week in May, he said he could do our show.
Nice.
And talk about living in an RV. And I saw that he got to play that Four Seasons resort playing golf. So
yeah,
maybe we want to buddy up to him and see how that goes. But he looks fascinating, and he seemed like he might be excited to do it. So that'll be a good show. And then I've got some other stuff. We'll get Timmy Foster back on. So stay tuned, guys. And thanks, Tony and Andrew Prince, Caleb, buddy. I promise we'll get this together. It's all my fault, and I'm so sorry. Thanks for Hawk for coming on. Chris, always a pleasure to have you in there. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you guys showing up each week. It means the world to us. And I'm very, very grateful. So thanks. And don't forget to vote for Sean. Everyone go right now. If you've not voted for Sean, please check on Mostly Disney. Karen and I are posting there every day. We just got to give him to 5th. And apparently he's in 6th. So we're closing in. So, all right. Thanks. And see you guys next week.
Have a good night. See you.
Our time is too short, it's over now. And we hate to say goodbye, but we'll be back next Tuesday night, or at least we sure will try.